What the f? If you woke up today and decided to look at your calendar, you'd know that it is October, which means it's officially spooky season. Ooh. Since it's officially October, I was thinking to myself, what series should I do since it's the month of spookiness? Then it hit me. Why don't I redesign the girls from, you guessed it, Monster High? And if you don't know what Monster High is,
or I never heard of Monster High before.
just kidding. But Monster High is basically a fashion doll line or an animated film or series about a high school for the children of famous and iconic monsters, like Dracula, Frankenstein, and even the Boogeyman. Monster High has a special place in my heart because growing up, I loved watching the movies. My favorite movies would have to be Freaky Fusion and 13 Wishes. Though I never collected any of the dolls, my sister, she had a few, and we often played with them. So that's pretty much all the knowledge I had on Monster High at the time. The most recent Monster High line has created a new generation, which is called Generation 3, or G3 for short. And in my opinion, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I love how diverse the new generation is now. They have different body types, gender identities, and better representation overall. But, of course, not everyone likes diversity. I remember when the new dolls were shown on TikTok in like 2022 or 3, it was like a world war in the doll community because the fans were blinded by nostalgia and only hated on some of the monsters because they were plus size, aka Draculaura and Catty Noir. And I thought it was so stupid because the whole point of Monster High is to embrace your freaky flaws. So whenever I see someone hating on a monster because they look different from what they usually used to, I instantly view them as a fake Monster High fan. But like I mentioned before on how I have a lot of likes about G3, I also have a lot of dislikes about G3, and the main thing being the outfit choices. Like for this generation, most if not all the girls, especially Clawdeen, I feel like they received a massive downgrade mainly due to the fact that they lost their iconic and unique fashion sense. So what I'm going to be doing today is giving them back their cunty and iconic looks, just making it a bit more in my style. Before I start redesigning, I want to let you guys know that this will be a series. So I'll be drawing / redesigning 12 girls, these girls right here, and I'll be doing 3 girls each video. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and grab some snacks. And enjoy these redesigns for today's video. The first monster I'll be redesigning is none other than Clawdeen Wolf. Clawdeen is the daughter of the iconic werewolf. She is a talented fashion designer who's ready to make her name with an impressive portfolio, worth all connections, and even a fashion show in Scaris on her name. Clawdeen has always been one of the most iconic monsters throughout their franchise. Her wiki states that she's also fiercely loyal and protective of her friends and family, but can be quick to anger when her loyalty feels threatened. Now, when it comes to G3 Clawdeen, she received the most changes from character design all the way through her personality, even becoming half human. Now, a lot of people, including myself, hate what they did with that. So, let's change that. Now, when redesigning Clawdeen, it was just a tiny bit of a struggle, mainly because her hair. So, I decided to put a poll up to decide which one was the best choice. First option is this beaded lock hairstyle that's half up, half down. Second option was the iconic afro. And the third was technically a mix of both, where her head would be braided while her hair is in a giant bushy ponytail. And the third style won out of all 3, so I decided to go with it. Especially because it was less time consuming than spending like 2 days on drawing braids. For all the designs I'll be doing throughout this series, I wanted to mix both G1 and G3 elements in the redesigns, so I thought it would be cute to give her thicker brows, even adding an eyebrow split just for fun. And I also decided to give her a snout instead of drawing a more human nose on her, since she is a werewolf after all. Now, moving on to the most important part of Monster High, being the fashion. So for her outfit, Pinterest saved my life yet again, and I gave her this very cropped jacket with a furry trim with this giant gold zipper, and this pink cheetah print top with gold studs on the chest area. She also has this pink collar-like choker that has a golden bone clip to it, since wolves are still technically dogs. I also gave her this additional necklace with her skelet on it. She even has a bunch of piercings on her ears and even one on her eyebrow. And for her pose, she's doing this rawr XD kind of pose so I can show off her nails, or technically her claws. And yes, that was my sister's hand that I used for reference earlier in the speed paint. Oh, and for her makeup, I kind of kept it similar to G1 where she has the purple eyeshadow, but instead of a red lip, I gave her that one lip combo black girls do because it's so gorgeous. Even my Sona has it, and I'm not a girl, but it's still gorgeous. Oh, and for her lower half, she's wearing a mini skirt with a few BB belts and some black ripped fishnets and these super furry boots. And that's Clawdeen Wolf. I think I did an amazing job on her design. Even though I didn't change much, I kind of made it look like G3 was wearing G1's modified outfit. And I kind of had to leave her silhouette like that. I didn't want to make it too crazy. So yeah, she looks good though. Now let's move on to the next girl. The next monster I'll be redesigning is Frankenstein, the child of Frankenstein. Frankie is 16 days old, which means they're super new to the world and what's in it. Their wiki states that Frankie has an unrelenting positive disposition, which allows them to easily make friends and motivate them to always look for solutions that help out as many people as possible. But it also makes them prone to being taken advantage of. Also, if you guys may have noticed, yes, I am using they them pronouns for Frankie because I just think it makes perfect sense. And I'm pretty sure Frankie is made out of several different body parts. Frankie is probably my favorite monster throughout the entire franchise because their personality is super quirky, friendly, sweet, and polite with a clumsy shriek. It's also said that they are the most naive out of the group, which is so me. But for their face, I wanted to add more emphasis on them being built together, so I added stitches on their entire face and throughout their entire body. I also gave back their neck bolts because it's not Frankenstein without neck bolts. The hair was a bit of a struggle, kind of like Clawdeen's, because there were so many styles that suited them. So I drew these 3 different styles and put a poll up, and multiple people, including myself, liked the third one. So I decided to go for this short, asymmetrical, messy haircut. I also decided to give them back their black and white streaks in their hair instead of adding neon blue and pink because I personally did not like the neon colors or the super bright colorful streaks in their hair. G3 Frankie also had a massive design change by making their color palette a lot more neon looking and even making their skin tone blue and removing the neck bolts like I mentioned earlier, which I believe is because of a copyright issue. So Frankie now has multiple shades of green for their skin tone, which I kind of referenced from an old art piece I did, which I'll put up right here. Now for their outfit, Frankie had always been wearing some sort of school or academia attire. So for their top, I gave them this white collared shirt with a long tie, but over top of it is this plaid vest, which is a reference to their G1 outfit. And over top of that, I gave them this gray super baggy sweater that's folded off of their shoulders. And for the lower half of their outfit, I gave them this plaid skirt that has different colors, so like yellow, red, blue. But that's not all. They also have some super baggy jeans under that skirt because I wanted their design to look very layered and maximalist. And for their pose, I just went for this simple pose where they're like fidgeting with their neck bolt. I was thinking about doing a pose where they're missing a hand, but I thought that was so generic and boring, I didn't go with it. And yeah, that's Frankie. I think I did pretty good with their design. I do wish I could have done a bit more with their outfit, maybe giving them some kind of hat or bag to make it more extra and maximalist, but I didn't. So now let's move on to the final monster for this video. And for the final monster I'll be redesigning today is none other than Draculaura, the daughter of Dracula. Draculaura is 1600 years old, which means 16 in the normie world, I believe, making Draculaura the second oldest out of her friend group, with Cleo being the oldest at 5,842 years old. In her wiki, it states that she is usually ecstatic and gets distracted really easily, making her prone to accidents and mixed information. So she's usually portrayed as naive, and despite being a vampire, Draculaura is a vegan to the point where she would faint at the sight of blood and meat, which I think is so funny. And oh my gosh, for G3 Draculaura, I'm just gonna say it. I hate how all of a sudden she knows witchcraft. It does not make sense to me at all. Like, I do not care. You argue with the wall is so dumb to me. But let me get on with her speed paint before I start ranting. Draculaura was probably the easiest to do when it came to her redesign, especially because my art teacher wanted me to give her certain elements, which helped me a lot. So for her face, if you guys notice, I was experimenting with the lash shape, and I went for a more softer and rounder eye shape with more bubble-like lashes to differentiate her face from Clawdeen's and Frankie's. Her face shape is also more round, being that G3 Draculaura is a lot more pudgy. And for her hair, my art teacher told me that it was mandatory that I gave her V-shaped bangs. But for the hair itself, I gave her these bubble braids, but instead of the bubble braids being round, they're in the shape of hearts, which fits way better. She has her usual black and pink hair color, but one side is more pink with black streaks, while the other side is more black with pink streaks. She also has these cute little batwing hair clips because I thought it was too cute not to draw, and it makes sense since she is a vampire. Now for her outfit, I leaned towards a dark Lolita kind of vibe, giving her this white collared shirt, but her sleeves are these super baggy or kind of puffed sleeves, giving it this almost kind of Rococo look. She also has this dark pink corset with a black lace pattern, and before we even get more into her design, I know you guys see that fat parasol I decided to give her. I thought it would be a cute thing to add because I do believe Draculaura carries a parasol from time to time. So I thought it would be a cute detail to draw, even though this is my first time ever drawing one. But later on in the speed paint, I added several mini hearts because for Draculaura's redesign specifically, I wanted her motifs to be a mix of hearts and bats, especially because I found out her birthday was on Valentine's Day, which is funny because my OC, Miko, their birthday is also on Valentine's Day, hence all the heart and strawberry motifs. And I know you can't see her lower half, which I probably should have mentioned for Clawdeen and Frankie, but for her lower half, I gave her this super cute skirt that has a lot of ruffles with it, and I gave her these cute tights that have bats on them, which I thought was perfect to add more bat motifs to her design since it was a lot more hearts. Oh, and for her shoes, I gave her these black Mary Janes with a platform on them. So they're like platform Mary Janes with a cute ruffled sock to add more to the Lolita style, since Lolitas wear a lot of ruffles and bows. And yeah, that's Draculaura. I think I did my big one with her drawing. She is so cute and I love her so much. And I really hope you guys love her as much as I do. She honestly might be my favorite redesign I did for this series so far, but you'll never know. So yeah. And that's the video. I really hope you guys like the redesigns as much as I do. I did want this video to be out on the first day of October, but I was super busy for a few days. But don't worry, I'll be trying to pump out the rest of the series throughout the remainder of this month. And if you guys want to see their full outfits, fear not, because I have a mini speed paint of me drawing their new and improved outfits. Now, I'll try my hardest to upload the second video by next week because as we speak right now, I'm drawing the next 3 ghouls for the second part of the series. Oh, and one more thing. Before I go, I want to thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers and 2K views on my first video. When I tell you guys I was not expecting all this love and support, I actually got teary-eyed. And I know some of you might be thinking, bro, it's so dramatic. It's just 300 people. And I honestly do not care if it was 20 people. Seeing you guys give me so much love and support makes me feel like I have something super special, which I do. So I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart because you all mean so much to me. Now, without anything left to say, I guess that's it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me which redesign was your favorite. Bye guys!